Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be watching me this morning. Of course, I have to make a very important submission this moment. I've heard people react and respond, of course, to the rejection of the petition written by the Oduduwa Nation agitators, by the UK Prime Minister and government. Some said that Sunday Igboho was not educated enough to project the interests of the Oduduwa nations. Some said that it was a shabby arrangement and there was no much consultations and articulations, and the reasons why the UK government has to trash or jettison such submissions. But let me shock you. Regardless of whatever opinion that may have been heard by anyone, this is my candid submission and opinion regarding this. I commend and salute Sunday Igboho for his bravery, for his doggedness, for his commitment to the emancipation and freedom of his people, the Yoruba nation. Regardless of whatever any person might hold against him, but the truth that you don't need the education of the oppressors, you don't need to be educated, you don't need to speak in the language of the oppressors before you can have your freedom. Freedom is an inalienable right, a natural entitlement that cannot be denied any people. You cannot deny any people, including the Yoruba race, freedom on the basis that those asking for the freedom are not lettered, or perhaps you call them illiterate because they don't understand the language of the oppressors. They have their language, they have their identity, they have the right to their own freedom, the preservation of their cultural heritage and prosperity. You can't deny them that right. It is their rights given by God Himself. I salute Chief Sunday Igboho for his doggedness, resilience, and commitment to the total emancipation of his people. He understood that his people had been marginalized, suppressed, killed, sacked in different communities in Oyo and other Yoruba states, which unfortunately the politicians have failed to save the people. In fact, the politicians have sold their conscience to the oppressors. They have failed to defend the culture, the people, and the inhabitants of the Yoruba race. Now, coming to see someone who has put his life on the in line to make sure that his people is being preserved, that the safety of his own people is guaranteed, having called the attention of the Nigerian government on several occasions, some the Igboho, whose life was threatened because he was asking an end to the killing, the brutal killings and assaults meted on his people, that they can't go to their farms anymore without fear of being attacked, hacked to death, killed, and raped by the supposed land grabbers and invaders. And you consider this to be an act of cowardice? That the basis for which he must be accepted by an alien, a foreigner who does not believe in the future of the Yoruba race. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom or the British were the fundamental problem of Nigeria. The amalgamation of Nigeria was the worst state of human violation of human rights, because the consent of the indigenous people or ethnic nationalities were not sought for. Before the amalgamation, it was forced on the people. The right to existence, the right to freedom of the people was usurped by the British government. just to protect their political and business interests. They forced the entire ethnic nationalities to accept what was hauled on them, which unfortunately has ruined and have destroyed the very sense of individual ethnic nationalities within the Nigeria. Of course, 100 years, just a century down the line, you see how Nigeria, the wanton destruction of life and property is going on in different regions, which have escalated in most recent time. And Sunday we will see invaders coming to kill his own brothers and sisters, siblings, and he was not happy. Though there were governors of the East Western regions, what did they do except for Akeredolu, who cried out in his lifetime when he was still the governor of Ondo State for international communities to come to their rescue, to their aid. Imagine a whipping governor, a toothless bulldog, despite all the legalia, despite all the portfolio security votes coming to the state, he can't defend his own people. So the Igboho puts his life on the line to defend, to speak up. So nobody should consider his action as an act of cowardice or not prepared for freedom. Of course, the oppressors, those who are beneficiaries of the flawed system, will not allow you to go. Just as Pharaoh never allowed the people of Israelites to go, the same thing applies to the UK government of Prime Minister, who, of course, behind Nigerian backyard, they are making up the resources. The oil well belongs to them. The companies drilling oil in our backyards belongs to them. They connive and partner with the oppressors who you called Nigerian politicians to rob and deprive people of their rights. So if the Yoruba nation, the indigenous people of the Yorubas, have seen the reason for them to speak up at this time, of course, it was much anticipated, though it is coming late, but then that does not mean they will be denied the right. The UK, whether they trash it, it is immaterial, it is inconsequential. They did that because of their selfish interests. They understood what is playing out in Nigeria. They understood that most communities in the West or the defunct Yoruba territory or the territory has been sacked by the Fulani militias and other, of course, land grabbers. So you can't deny people the right to existence. What the Yorubas were asking for a breakaway, for a referendum to be conducted. If you think you are not part of the referendum, that does not mean that the voice of the people should be silenced. So kudos to Sunday Igboho and his entourage who defied every odds and, of course, to present themselves and to score the political points. They have registered their positions, whether the UK government rejects or that, it doesn't matter. The UK have been known to be oppressive. They even oppress the United States when they are being colonized, Israel and other parts of the country. So they wouldn't want their captives or the supposed captive to be free. They want to continue to take on the advantage of the ethnic nationalities because they understood the implication of them losing their holds or grip over the Oduduwa nation. It means the Oduduwas will now be free, independent of any interference of the British government, and of course, develop at their own pace and better the lots of their own citizens. The exploitations going on and the intimidations and oppressions indirect rule will not have its way again. So I salute the courage of Sunday Igboho and I commend him, of course, to forge ahead. The people have heard his word, their voice. The world is watching what is playing out. They should rather, instead of throwing in the towel, sum up courage and, of course, forge ahead. It doesn't matter how many times you have been rejected by those who you believe that your enemies, they don't want you to succeed. But what will define the future is your doggedness, resilience, and of course, the commitment and passion to free your people. from the shackles of the oppressors who would not at any time want you, of course, to escape from their snares, from their destructive words. Kudos to everyone, of course, who participated in that. I'm looking forward that they should re-strategize and, of course, show some level of commitment and publicity. Sensitize the people they need, of course, and gather more followers to support and see the need for this program. Already, Nigeria is breaking away. The North is crying out. They want to succeed. The East already is far behind. Of course, they have left the shores of Nigeria. And the Oduduwa should, of course, try to catch up. So the fact that the UK rejected, discarded the petition is immaterial. They have their interest to protect. Their interest is to continue to make Nigerian country state, and of course the Oduduwa by extension, and enslave their future and posterity. But it's left for the people to say we're not going to back down. We're going to, of course, organize ourselves and come back much stronger. Congratulations to them, in as much as they will not give up of throwing the towel, and the oppressors will be there laughing at them that these people have been silenced. It is left for them to accept such intimidation or to say no. We must fight until freedom is established for our people. Congratulations to Sunday Igboho and to every Oduduwa nation agitator. Provided you are acting within the international laws and, of course, a defined template for self-determination. Thank you for watching.